I turn it on.
Okay, go for it.
All right, we're live. Hey, everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Ahanko Comics and Drago66. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon, because you get access to episodes early and in audio format, and you actually get them early. We'll talk a little bit about that. Ooh, breathe into my microphone a lot. Anyway, hey, we're here. Oh, actually, I should post this because this is the asset I have decided I am using because people liked it more on Twitter. So I will post this to the general, what the background for this episode of What's Up is, because I want to immediately get the live reaction. I posted it in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to be honest, no, that's pretty accurate, because if you have been anywhere on the internet in the past week or so, you've probably been seeing a lot of Super Mario inspired art, specifically of, well, here in like North America we say Bowsette and Bowsette and stuff, but over in Japan, it's known as Kupahime and Buhime, and I'm gonna use those because that's what I like. It feels better for me. But basically, what happened is that in the new Super Mario Brothers, one of the games, I can't remember which one, they came out with a new item called the Super Peach Crown. Super Peach Crown, right?
No, it's just the Super Crown, but it's going to be in New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. It's the Switch port of the Wii U game. So they've added Toadette as a playable character, and as far as we know at the moment, she has a unique power-up called the Super Crown, which turns her into a visual copy of Peach called Peachette. And gameplay-wise, she can do things that Peach and Daisy can normally do, like double jump and hover and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, this was completely unexpected. So a guy on Twitter, I can't remember his name for the life of me, basically made a 4-panel comic in which at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, Peach says fuck off to both Bowser and Mario. Then in their moment of grief, Bowser just turns and looks at Mario, pulls out the Super Crown, and the next panel you see them playing tennis with Luigi and Peach and Mario and a well-endowed Peach-looking Bowser.
Mm-hmm. And this tweet, by the way, was titled, in addition to the comic, was, "The Super Crown has really interesting lore implications." And then the internet saw a design it liked and ran with it.
Yeah.
So the common themes... I don't know if Lucky's going to say the same thing as me, but I was going to say that the common visual themes, the generally accepted style, is that Bowsette or Kupahime basically looks about the same as Peach, because that's how the Super Crown works. Peachette looks exactly like Peach, except she has Toadette's hairstyle with the braids. She has Toadette's eye color. She has the Super Crown, obviously, and her dress is Toadette-inspired. So Bowsette has horns, usually also has sharp teeth, has the shell on her back still, is wearing a black or, goth-looking princess dress, and usually is taller and thicker than Peach is. And then there's the universal question mark, which is, do you prefer the literal Peach version or the I think it's a fan palette for Fire Peach, which is tan skin, red hair.
I'm okay with both. I think
both are good. The more literal Peach inspired one, it makes more sense because we are interpreting the Super Crown, but the redhead design also works.
Yeah. And as I was saying, this blew up in Japan. So much. There is art everywhere. Famous illustrators, doujin makers, mangaka. Everyone's making fucking art of Kupahime. like two off the top of my head, Pochi Ida, who did the elder sister with 1,000 Young. She's a doujin artist and also has a running series right now. She did art. Cool. I can't remember his name. Cool Coach it's Cool Kyo. He's the guy who did basically Maid Dragon, and I can't understand what my husband's saying. Also, like, does a lot of work. They made Kupahime. He really loves Kupahime. He's done several pieces of art.
Well, I mean,
like
she's got horns. You would expect that.
Yeah. But, like, all these artists are coming out. And the thing that I found, like, I think, like, the best thing that came out after this, though, was when the guy who originally made the comic was, like, getting, like, overwhelmed by all this attention he was suddenly getting, he started, like, he mentioned that, and all of a sudden, like, all these supportive comments from Japan, which usually started with, I'm sorry, I'm bad at English, but, like, just started flowing in, and he was all like, oh. And I was all like, yes, cool, be supportive.
Oh, also, we should point out, another possible point of contention is the horns are almost universal, as is the shell, and the spike bracelets or armbands, but then there's the question of tail or no tail.
I'm fine with either. And because of, like, this initial outbreak of Kupahime, people have started applying the Super Crown to other characters, like King Boo-hime, which is probably I think is probably my favorite. Boo-hime is, like, utterly, redonkulously adorable in just all her iterations.
Well, that's because, quite frankly, Boos are kind of adorable, because they're, like, they have the, if you look at them, they do the shy, they cover their eyes in blush, and then, but and then so they do weird faces and creepy stuff if you look away.
Yeah, so there's a lot of blushing Boo-hime out there, and I'm all like, yes, this is good stuff.
Also, Boo-hime's, or possibly, would it be Bowsette, I think is the normal American way of saying it. Super stacked.
Yeah.
Like, even more so than the Bowsette designs usually, for some reason. Is it because King Boo is so huge?
Yeah. I don't know, it just seems to be like that universal thing. Give her the titty. But I've also seen Bullet Bill. I've only seen a couple. I've seen several of the Chain Chomp, which I actually think is a really, really cool design.
Yeah, a couple of different Chain Chomp designs, a couple different Bullet Bill designs. Those haven't taken off a lot, but like I said, I had to reorganize my image folders for this because it was such, I'm like, oh man, I have such an influx that's not curated, so I had to dedicate a folder to this, so obviously there's a lot of the variations on the Bowsette design, but I've got a couple like Chain Chomp princesses and what's the other one I was talking about? I think I got like a couple of Bullet Bills designs. There's a little short comic about a Yoshette design. And then some people just got dumb. There's like they've anthropomorphized like bricks, like the upright bars at the end of Super Mario World levels, stuff like that.
Oh, they've anthropomorphized lava when they tried to throw the crown into lava, and it just became a lava princess. Oh, no, it's good. Something interesting is it was unearthed that apparently in the original design for Super Mario Odyssey, at one point Bowser was going to throw his own version of Cappy and take over Peach and become a sort of an evil Peach themselves. So,
which, by the way, if you were debating the issue of tail and redhead, that design has red hair and red eyes and a tail. So, actually, that reminds me, I should retweet that.
But like, honestly, like, I got into this, and it has been a major heckin' distraction. Like, oh man, Womps would probably just want. Oh man, I imagine like a Thwomp just having the biggest fucking ass. Oh my god, crushing.
I mean, yeah, no, I've definitely seen that art.
I haven't, but
it's out there. I mean, like, yeah. Well, the point is they wouldn't do it literally because as voices in chat now talking to us, they wouldn't literally do Bowsette as designed because that's a fan design, but also, I think it's the thing that we've just realized is that technically in the art book they had a design that was different already that technically pre-existed this fan art interpretation. So, yeah, no, they would not literally do it, but they could. They have their own iteration on the concept they could use. People are arguing about like should Nintendo use it.
Like they're not gonna use it. Like I'm sorry, like they're just not.
Definitely not the design. Like I said, like the fan design because that is a fan design. So that's not how copyrights work. Like they're probably okay with the fan art design because their stock literally trended up because of this fan art outburst.
Mm-hmm.
But
stock is affected by how well liked you are in the social medias.
But
so
for like crediting and like copyright, they are not going to muck around with this specific design. Will they maybe realize that people would be okay with a quote-unquote girl Bowser design for something? Oh, yeah, no. Will they eventually do it? Probably. I mean, they made female Link, though that caused its own thing. Linkle.
That's so weird.
But, yeah, no, like, I would not be surprised. Is it going to come up in the game, the New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe? Fuck no. That's coming out in January, guys. That's 4 months? 4 and a bit away?
Make her a DLC character for Smash. Yeah.
That could be a thing. But yeah, no, like,
Perfect.
the game that introduced this concept is coming out soon. It's probably mostly done. They just need to, like, do final polish and packaging and stuff. So yeah, fuck, no, it's not coming out right away. But like I said, would they eventually do it? Like, I think my favorite idea is, well, I don't think it sold well, so they probably won't. A sequel to, like, Super Princess Peach, where, you know, which was about rescuing Mario as Peach anyway, to, like, flip the script and just make it all female characters, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. But one of the things that, like, one of the side effects from this meme is that it got me super distracted. Like, I hadn't been feeling well for the past week. Just stress in life and all that stuff. And here comes fucking Bowsette Titty. And it, like, super distracted me. Like, I'm at work being like, God, I just want to go draw it. And I'm at home and it's all like, no, I want to draw, but I got to work on editing, but I don't want to work on editing. I should just watch anime and just, like, not deal with life right now. And, last week's Let's Talk FGO didn't come out until today, actually.
Yeah, it didn't come out until public till literally today. I posted it earlier.
And so I was like, oh my God. Like, I actually made a quick apology segment. In which I had to explain, it's all like, I was literally thinking about Bowsette titties and drawing butts. Like, then that's literally what it was. I didn't mention that, like, I was kind of failing at life at that moment, because I didn't want to just air that out in, like, a text segment. But I was just failing at life at that moment. Shoot, if you go on our Discord, there's a channel called Lucky Rants where I literally spent 40 minutes just ranting about how much I suck at life and how I hate it. I think my favorite line in here is, and I quote, "But I need to rant. Talking with you is like literally playing Russian roulette, but instead of getting shot, I get cut off."
That is a bit how this goes, yes. We're constantly spinning the conversation gun, and somebody's gonna pull the trigger. Is it you? Is it me? I don't know.
I said, like, I am incredibly, like, sassy when I can type. It doesn't come out quite as well when I'm talking. I don't know why.
Text is an easier format to be sassy in.
Yeah.
We talked about that before. I like that first-person smart-ass style of writing, but I don't really talk like that a lot. But that's mostly because that's a lot of effort to summon up for a daily conversation, right? Like, most of the time, you're not interacting with people voice-to-voice in a way that's like, yes, this is an opportunity to be snarky. Like, that comes
you always
out
think about the snarky thing
little
afterwards.
Also, yes. No.
It's like,
Go ahead.
Alright. But, so, But thankfully, I am feeling a lot better. I really liked, actually, like, I was looking at the images, and I actually really like that, how I, like, basically just, like, preface the show with, like, a little message. It reminded me of back in I don't know if they actually still do this, but back when I was watching Adult Swim, like, before they have a show, they'd have just, like, a little bit of music, a black screen, and just some text going while they talk to you. And I was all like, tee-hee, like, all the time. It's like, I might try to recreate that kind of feeling.
Yeah, the Adult Swim bumpers are a classic.
Yeah.
Which, and then, once again, I really don't mind. Like, I've said this before. If we're gonna bother doing the visual edit, like, obviously, if it's like, fuck, I don't have time to do anything, that's fine. Like, the show came out super late, and we don't like that, but it you know, there's a point of it comes out when it comes out. But if we're gonna bother doing the visual edits, feel free to flex your muscles to do actual visual stuff, because that's the whole point. Is to make a more visually impressive thing.
Was literally the minimum I felt I could do to have, like, something pass. So basically, I threw in the preface. I put in a single connection screen because I really like that, how it's like you're connecting to the show. The Patreon background music. I had literally just one static image. I haven't done show notes. I'm sorry, show notes are not happening for me this week.
That's okay. I literally put show notes ? I don't think I even put a thing like coming soon. I was just like, Listen, honestly, it's funny, but it works out, especially like with the thumbnail and the title. We made the episode while we were tired and a little bit sleepy and out of sorts, and it ran long anyway because that means we bullshit more. But still, it was like, it's literally called the Sleepy Boy episode.
I'm not a sleepy boy right now, so
no, you're an awake boy.
Hopefully, we'll keep this energy going into tomorrow's recording.
Yes, I don't think we actually said on air, but we've mentioned there are a lot of people in chat because yes, we hit 1,000 subs. We're quite over now.
Oh, yeah.
We're like 1,060, I think, something like that. I'm glad that YouTube automatically started the review process for partnership and monetization, but still, also, it's taking them a long time. I double checked the other day and said could take up to a month, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't take a month.
Please don't take a month.
There's like we're gonna be hopefully I'll be posting like VC4.
It took you 9 months?
Oh, yeah, no. You didn't see this? Voice finally got his thing. Like, he's been there for a while. But at the same time, like, I think that was also you getting approved for, like, partnership and stuff. Our channel's been a YouTube partner before. It's just that they changed their requirements for monetization a couple of times. The first time we got it back, it came back pretty fast. So I'm hopeful it doesn't take a long time. If it looks like it's going to take more than a month, I'm going to have to email them to be like, hey, can we expedite this? We're really, we worked really hard to get here.
We did work.
But also the other thing is, other than a couple of the videos that you did with us, Voice, your videos usually aren't very long. I guess do streams count for the normal view minutes? Because for us, you need like 4,000 minutes, I think, or 4,000 watch minutes in like a half a year or something, or is it a full year? I don't know. But you need a lot of minutes, but for us, that's nothing because we do... Okay, so that's fine, because you have very long streams. All right. This is your YouTube Under the Hood pro tip. To get YouTube partnership, in addition to 1,000 subs, you need fuck tons of watch minutes, which for us, like we said, is no problem, because we're doing What's Up right now. Let's see, we're about 20 minutes in. We're probably going to record somewhere around 2 hours total, probably, knowing us.
Yeah.
So, if 100 people watch 2 hours, that's, 120 minutes times 200. It's a lot of fucking minutes. So, we cinched that really easy. The problem for us was getting subs. But like I said, hopefully, because we have already been YouTube partners and they automatically started the review process, hopefully it flows better. One thing I did fix is they finally switched up their format for custom URLs, so we were able to get a non-dogshit custom URL. So now we don't have to use my original channel URL from 2006 when I made a YouTube account and then converted it into a brand account, but didn't necessarily change like the way stuff was saved by YouTube. Thanks, YouTube.
Neo Dark Sword.
By the way, that's a reference to Mega Man Battle Network, because that's why I actually started my YouTube channel, so I could, or not my channel, but my account, so I could comment on Mega Man Battle Network videos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how a lot of my usernames start. I just stick with using them, but yeah, no, so.
I've switched, like, a lot of usernames Like basically anytime like I want to just go like fuck off and create a new identity, I just like drop everything and like, oh, time for new me. I've done that several times. I was actually thinking about it. Like, cause I was having the conversation, well, I wasn't in a conversation, but I was ranting about, I wish I didn't say so many goddamn times. When I was ranting about my life and stuff, but I'm ranting about my life and stuff, I would start thinking about like what I have been doing for like the past like 10 years of my life. Because like, as I said, right now I'm 31. I turned 31 last August. I didn't start thinking about doing art and creating stuff until maybe I was like 26, 27. Like right around the time I met this fucker and his friends.
So
but I was just thinking about it, like I got kicked out of the military like when I was like 21. And from there I just kind of floated along life. And man, like I had some damn adventures. And like I moved around a lot. I went around the US, I hitchhiked, I met people, couch surfed. Eventually started putting my life together bit by bit, but like sometimes like yeah, things were kind of up in the air, things were kind of hectic. I might not know which way the coin will land, but man, that was freedom back then. I look at myself now today as like I literally have to like schedule time for me to record in the show. I have to schedule time to like watch anime, play games and all that stuff. It's like I have to keep working so I can pay the bills, so I can keep working. Omega had earlier said that, like, when I talk about how, like, he dies a little inside every time I talk about how I can throw all this money, like, on buying figurines, video games, or throwing out gachas, it was like, my immediate thought was like, yeah, but if I don't do that, I think I'm gonna kill somebody.
I mean, no, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, you were talking about how your sense of freedom, like, being unemployed and kind of drifting was, like, freeing and stuff. And I was just like, I mean, yeah, you have a freedom, but at the same time, as relatively low personal income, I don't have a lot of spending money. A lot of what I get is based off the channel and stuff, which is why we're really glad to have monetization back, because that'll hopefully start supplementing this better. But, like, yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm materialistic, really, but to get things, you need to be able to exchange something of value for them. Like, that's just human nature, whether you go back to, like, barter or whatever. So, yeah, not having spending money to be like, oh, I cannot, like, pick up an experience I want, or I can't, you know, try to get a little bit more out of the gacha so I can do stuff, or, like, I can't always get the hardware I need to expand the channel. Like, yeah, no, that also has its own kind of suck, right? Like, it's like, oh, but I really can't necessarily do the things I want to do in life either. So it's, you know, there's ups and downs to everything. That is, I made a tweet about this from the official channel. One was just, I wanted to call people to, like, send you their support, because you're a major backbone of this, especially with the fact that now you edit at least one show. So yeah, that's a big deal, editing. But I also, as a sublet, was like, also consider supporting us on Patreon, because we're not just here to steal your money. We literally just want to make this sustainable so we can do this full time and not worry about other bullshit.
Well, like, you know, that's the thing, because back when I, like, didn't have a job, like, I, like, did so much shit. I made a fuck ton of art. I did cosplays. I went to Ren fairs. I wrote fan fiction. Like, I started, like, on my own personal novel that kind of got scrapped, because guess what? I became a fucking working adult and got chained to the fucking wage slave system. Oh my god, it's like, I do not have the freedom to create like I used to. And that, like, thinking about that over the past week, it's all like, I think, like, that is what is one of the things that is seriously wrong with me right now, is that I cannot create. I do not have the time to create like I used to. Like,
and we want you to create. So people, listen. I know I get a little shilly, but this is literally why. This is why, because, like, you know, Lucky wants the freedom to be able to create more. I want to be able to get more stuff so I can also create more. I want to be able to, like, to like get a better computer, get like stuff secured so we can access all the fun stuff we use to express our creativity. Like that's why we ask for support on Patreon, and that's why when our monetization actually gets turned on, we're gonna be like, hey, you know, we're sorry if there's ads and stuff, but we're trying to support ourselves here because we want to be able to do this, and we can. People do this full time, and they work hard at it, and we're gonna work hard at it, and if you guys can help us, we would appreciate the help. In response, you get more cool stuff from us because we're cool. Apparently,
I mean, like honestly, like the more I thought, I was like, yeah, that is my dream. I want to be able to wake up, take a shower, get coffee, sit down, look at my to-do list, and be like, and have it say, make shit to make stuff, like create things so that people on the internet will like it and appreciate and want to give me money for it. It's all like, I won't have to deal with like people. I won't have to deal with, oh, they can be robots. If there is a Chihuahua out there who has pledged itself on Patreon, I'm not gonna fucking like question it, all right? Thank you, Chihuahua.
Yes. If there are any Chihuahuas out there, there's probably a fucking Chihuahua YouTube channel. You know, deep Google neural networks, whatever. We'll take your money too. Your money's still good here.
It's like if fucking Skynet saw my shit on like Patreon or wherever I post to be all like, that's good shit. Maybe I'll hold off on destroying the world a little bit longer. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. It's just like I want to be able to share my things with people, and be able to build off a living off of that. So where I'm not like having to so I don't have to worry about bills so much. Like I can cut down on my personal expenses because I won't have to fucking have a car payment, have insurance, have to buy gas. I won't have to freaking have to go and deal with a whole bunch of fucking people that I really don't want to fucking to at weirdest hours nights and work myself fucking ragged just so I can barely make enough fucking money to get through my life so I can do it again the next day. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, I hate it. And we said before that hate is not a word that one should use lightly. And it's taken me this long. It's taken me like several years to realize, but no, I hate this kind of life. It's like there are times where I can't sleep because of it. There's times where I literally can't function because of it. There are times when I just look at it and I just feel no hope in my fucking life. I hate it. Like, honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why, like, when Omega started doing this, I literally, like, brought my way onto this, like, hey, I'm gonna help you. And he was like, okay.
And I'm glad you're here, because quite frankly, I gotta be honest, like, I do plenty of solo stuff for the channel, and that's its own kind of work, right? Like, cause there are days when I do wake up, I eat breakfast, I sorted all the stuff on the channel, and I double check everybody and make sure everything's happy and videos are posted or whatever, and then I right away, I'll be like, fuck, I need to record some Extella. So I throw the capture card in and I, record a couple of hours, or I record like an episode, I take a break, get some lunch, record another episode. And, well, we've talked about this in the past, I'm not a morning person, so like doing stuff first thing period sucks for me a lot of the time, but there's definitely at least something fulfilling about being able to go, okay, I'm gonna do a thing today. Alright, I did it, yay.
I'm gonna open up my Brave list, because I think for tomorrow's show, the video insert is going to be me working on Brave List, so get ready for that.
That's cool. That's relevant, because they just announced not the actual new Halloween event, but the rerun at least.
Yeah, I know. I seriously started this art back when we did, we're talking the welfare video with voice, and the line art's mostly done. Mostly. That's pretty good.
Yay, line art. Anyway. Also, that's another reason why it's great to have variety, because, that's something I can't do at all. I can do a little bit of editing. I don't have a full-blown Photoshop or anything, so sometimes my edits are sloppy because I'm using fucking MS Paint. I'm sorry, but I work with the tools I am given.
Voice has shared the link where you can go get the free copy of Photoshop 2 or whatever.
I should probably find that just because I want to see if I can find more cool editing tools to do more cool stuff. Like the thumbnail I posted for the upcoming Extella episode where it's Hakano and Tamamo lying in the futon, and they both have dream bubbles, and it's corroded Liz equals Space Godzilla ? Which I'm way too pleased about, but It was a great... I literally say in the episode, because I say, just like Space Godzilla, and then I'm like, there's a beat, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, fuck, I gotta write that down. I gotta make sure that's the title of the episode. Though I did actually change the title of an episode. The last episode was just Munch Munch, because that's an adorable moment in that episode. But it didn't get a lot of views, so I felt like it was maybe fucking with the algorithms and stuff. So instead, I changed it to Teen Idol Eats Something She Shouldn't! !
That sounds so clickbaity.
It is, probably, but it's also still titled, like, Let's Play Fate Extella. So, like, yeah, no, like, there's an art to clickbaitiness. I know a lot of people are critical of clickbait, but that's just, especially with YouTube, that's just the environment we're in. Like
honestly,
even with our own audience, with you guys, our subs, we're really happy to have you, but there's over 1,000 of you. Very few of our videos get over 1,000 views. Like, sometimes Let's Talk FGO videos don't even go that high, or at least it takes them a while to do. So, like, it's not a guarantee that people, even who sub to you, will watch your content. So you need to be able to grab them and be like, hey, check this out.
I mean, if we wanted to, like, do full on, we need to, like, zoom in on some fucking tits.
Have you seen some of my thumbs for Extella? I was lazy with the first couple, but all of the Tamamo arc ones are screen grabs of Tamamo. Some of them I had to take myself.
The hack. I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what it was. Good job, me. Oh, wait, nope. I lost it. Damn.
It's gone. It's gone forever. By the way, this is the thumbnail I meant. I'm gonna post that in the chat now. And then this is the follow-up thumbnail.
Ah! That makes it look like she has bug eyes.
They're suns. But still, yeah. It's a thing. It's grabby.
Oh my god. Like, one day, like, I'm gonna, like, somehow have to, like, shoe in, like, an hour or two, and I'm gonna have to make sure you some goddamn thumbnails. You try calling me out saying, like, I'm no better at graphic design than you are.
Well, sometimes you aren't.
But I'm gonna have to, like, sit down and be all like, son.
Ow, I mean, it's just, most of these are made fast, because it's like, well, what the like, my libraries are pretty slim on some of this stuff. Although I will say, a lot of the thumbnails are not meant to be serious. So,
was the
like,
localization link pushed to 2019? No!
No, don't do that. I need that.
Excuse me while I internet.
Alright, Lucky's gonna look that up. I'm going to add some videos to the community playlist we're doing.
Coming to the West this winter. That's April. Western release. There's nothing.
If you have a source on that.
Oh, we do. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, it's Q1. Okay, that ain't too bad. That's still like within the first 3 months. Oh, and they have the special edition announced. What do they got? Is it? It's almost the exact same thing.
Well, that's good. We'll check that out. What do we got? What do we got? We'll do an unboxing video in this. Oh, well, we got the cards back.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
We got a little standee, which is fucking amazing. The soundtrack, which is cool. The 3x5 servant cards with the 10 additional servants added to Link, a diorama, and another cloth poster. Cool.
No art book? What? Heck.
Oh, I don't know if there's a Link materials, actually. Is there an art book?
Let me check the...
I mean, materials is not necessarily an art book, but it contains some of that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if they didn't publish Link mats, or Extella mats 2, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
News, which is very important because we're literally discussing our Extella playthrough.
Actually, it was on Amazon. I know you can buy the Japanese Extella Elite on Amazon. I was tempted. I was sorely tempted. I want that goddamn Mahjong.
But anyway, yeah.
I don't even play Mahjong.
talk about like posting Extella really quick because this is a thing we want to mention. So let's see, we've been going for probably like 30 minutes. Yeah. You might think based on the timing, this would be a time where we talk about Valkyria Chronicles 4. We're not doing that this episode. Lucky's only just started it. I have it, but I haven't started playing it yet, so we're not in a position to talk about it yet, other than it looks cool. Probably next week. You saying, Lucky?
I lost it.
Alright, you lost it again. So we'll probably talk about that next week, and I want to record it for the channel, obviously. I have 2 routes left of Extella. I'll see if I can record some more tonight, even though I've got, like, episodes for days, finally. It's finally happened. We have a backlog. I have, like, 2 days worth of shit uploaded. And I will continue to work on that tonight, maybe. Doing What's Up really takes a lot out of us, and it takes a lot out of my fucking computer to render it, so we'll see. But definitely over the weekend, I want to try and record more. I will try to get through Altera's route and recorded, so it might be a little while before VC4 is posted, but I'm going to try and move through Extella fast enough to get to it, because having to do something else is the most motivating thing to me, I think. It's like, you know, you gotta eat your vegetables before you can eat dessert. That's a lie. I never eat my vegetables. But
I like spinach.
But, there's definitely something to be said for, like, if you get this project out of the way, you can start another project, which will be as or more entertaining. So, working on it. We're about to start Altera's route. That'll be super fun. That's a lie. I would have to say it's a real slug match whether or not Flame Poem or Dawn is more depressing.
Oh my god.
Because they're both fucking sad. Orchid Words is surprisingly not sad. Other than the fact that Tomo's kind of an asshole for a lot of it, once she gets over it, like, she has her big, like, character developing moment in, like, the final chapter, it's surprisingly upbeat. You guys will see.
It is. Personally, I was okay with it, because, you know, she kind of had her angst all throughout the series. I mean, all throughout the episode, but... yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you can kind of see a lot of the plot of her character, and also this is one thing I like to do is the actual purpose of a Let's Play is I actually like to point out character details that might be subtle or maybe people forgot about or missed. So like for Nero, I pointed out a couple of important points about her. With Tama, I also was like, so you'll notice here, Tama was like, specifically, she's like putting on the queenly mask, right? And I'm like, okay, so they explicitly point out here that you can see why she's acting kind of differently with people because she's putting up a front and stuff like that. That's the kind of commentary and start that and dying with laughter. Like, the reason why I titled that previous episode, the one was public a while. Yeah, it was public yesterday. It was posted yesterday. Munch was just because I completely forgot about how adorable that scene is when Liz eats the ring and she's just like, and Rumiokubo is just like, Mogu Mogu. And I'm like, there's a beat and then you can hear me chuckling in the background because I broke out laughing. I was like, oh my god. I did not remember to expect that. I knew the plot stuff happened, but the character stuff was like... And then it goes on for like 3 lines, 3 text boxes of Mogu Mogu. I'm like, I need that to my text tone. Jesus. Or I point out inconsistencies. In that episode that was posted, Archimedes gets blasted. And then... But then I go to do the boss fight, which shouldn't be a spoiler, because you've seen the Nero route already, hopefully, if you're watching it. But go ahead and watch it. But, like, you go to the boss route and you fight Safar again, and suddenly Archimedes is doing dialogue boxes. Like, didn't you explode? I mean, like, I know you didn't die, but why are you back in the scene again? Because he just gets reintroduced in the like, in-battle dialogue boxes again for no reason. I was like, didn't you die? I know you didn't really die, but didn't you fake die? No, he's just here.
I'm really hoping that
Excella's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun recording it. I'm going to power through it so we can get to VC4. One thing I did want to ask on Mike, which I bet we won't get a lot of feedback on this because we don't ever, but I'm specifically asking you a question, so hopefully you'll give me a little bit back. But would people prefer basically like a blind look at VC4 where I start it up and just I record me playing it as it happens? Which probably means my commentary won't be as insightful, but it will be more genuine. Or would people prefer it to be a bit more like the Extella run, where very clearly I have obviously already beaten all of the arcs of Extella, right? Like, I have all the characters unlocked and everything. And so I know generally what I'm doing, and I can, like, offer more insightful commentary about breaking it down, because I remember the details. So, yeah, no. That'll be something I'll take some feedback on, because it will be a couple of days before I start that. Just because, I think Dawn's probably 6 chapters again. I'm pretty sure the final arc, is longer. We'll see how many chapters I can do per episode, but Extella's not a very long game, and then I think I will take a break. And I will record VC4, and then I will get back to posting the side stories, because those are very entertaining. So I haven't played them all. I haven't played all of those either, so that'll be interesting to show off the different characters and their different endings and stuff. But yeah, so we'll check that out. We'll have some fun. Yeah, I did Medusa's already. It is funny. And I did Artoria's too, which is also funny. But yeah, so I'll cover those on the channel just eventually, guys. Also, like I said last time, because I polled people about this, if they wanted me to do like a playthrough of VC1 remastered to like build up to VC4, I think we're still definitely going to go back and do that after, just because I feel like that'll be a good Let's Play to do, but we'll see. So that's all the channel stuff to get out of the way. We talked about Bowsette for a decent amount of time, though I pointed on Twitter, we basically lost a day at HQ because of that. Just the whole atmosphere of the internet was like very alive in that moment. If we could have recorded a What's Up right then, I don't think we wanted to, because like you said, you were not necessarily having a great time with your life then. And
I think I had
I
kind
was
of an existential identity crisis.
busy working. I was busy like balancing between, okay, Lucky's a little frazzled right now, but that's fine. I'll talk to him if he needs to talk to somebody. And then also right now I'm bombarded by this stuff, and just it's super distracting, and I don't want to do anything else other than like catalog fan art and do and talk about this design with people. So like it wouldn't have been good to record, but at the same time, like, there was a certain amount of that was the thing we were focused on. We would have talked 100% about it if we had. Oh, yeah. Which actually I think we talked about way less than I thought we were gonna. But that's good. We talked about it. So the only other big thing I wanted to... Well, there's a couple big things I want to talk about. One of them's probably short.
You just keep going and going. I'm like, I've been wanting to talk about Let's Plays this entire time, and you've already moved on several sections.
Okay, well then you need to tell me to... Wait, no, I want to talk about Let's Plays, because, like, there was a little bit of gap there where I'm like, okay, I'm winding down.
No.
But alright.
No,
what's up
there
then
wasn't.
about Let's Plays?
Because basically, like, back when you're talking about Let's Plays, I wanted to mention that, like, I do still plan on finishing Dead Space. Literally, what happened is, the cord that I used to connect my PS3 controller to my computer, it shorted out on me. It's just not working anymore. So I don't have a controller to play Dead Space on. And I'm sure a lot of people are going like, but Lucky, you can just use your keyboard and mouse. I'm like, yeah, I could. And I tried for a little bit. And the feel is so ridiculous that it's not bad. It's just so different to me that I can't adjust to it quickly enough. It's like, I try it, like, I can't, you guys have, if you've seen my Dead Space, you know I am not the greatest fucking shot. It's even worse when I'm trying to do it with a mouse. So, like, as soon as I get a new micro or mini cord, or I might even try and see if I can hook up my PS4 controller to my computer. That might work. I got some programs.
I think they got I'll get back the PC firmware for that.
I'll get back to that and finish it out. Like I was telling people, my original plan was to get a capture card so I can do Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I probably would have done Valkyria Chronicles because I would have been able to record it immediately. But my computer is too ancient and doesn't have the proper hardware to do so. I was considering maybe getting a kind of what Omega has, and has the one that hooks up to your USB instead. But I don't know. I kind of need to upgrade my computer anyway. Might be better if I just do everything in one, well, not one fell swoop, but several smaller swoops.
That said, you talked about before you you were willing to jump into, after Dead Space, maybe a break, but jump into Dead Space 2 also?
Yeah. Because that's the plan, because like I said, I got Bioshock, like I have all of Bioshock, the first one, up on the channel. Started it from beginning to end. I saved all the Little Sisters. I beat many things with a wrench. I think I used a wrench probably more out of anything else in that game. A fact that I am super proud of. Fuck yeah, wrenches. And I do want to maybe do like Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite, Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3. But other than that, like, I have a bunch of other PC games I could do too. But as I said, like, I really wanted to go over to console because that's where I'm doing a lot of my gaming now. Just bought Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I bought Dragon Quest XI. Bought Valkyria Chronicles 4. Like, I might be picking up Darksiders 3 here in 2 months? Yeah, 2 months. Kingdom Hearts next year, Caligula next year, Days Gone, maybe The Division 2, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be buying a lot of games, but most of it's gonna be on the console. My computer, while I do play games on it, is not my gaming thing. Usually I play I play things like Stardew Valley, Minecraft, Starbound, Terraria. You know, that's why I play on my computer. When I want to play, like, action and stuff, I go to my console. I know there's, like, those PC elitists who are all like, oh, you can play it so much better. I don't fucking care!
He doesn't care.
I don't.
I really wish I could take a picture, by the way, what I'm doing. I probably sound a little quiet because I'm a little outside the pole of my mic, but I've literally leaned back in my chair, just relaxing while Lucky talks about stuff.
I do. That's how I do.
I'm also probably going to make a terrible noise if I try to sit up, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that happens to me, like, every time.
Well,
yeah,
also, I have a creaky-ass chair.
Everyone's been, like, saying Spider-Man's real damn good, and I'm probably inclined to agree. I might pick it up during, like, late October. I was also thinking God of War. We lost voice, no!
He probably still could do something.
That and God of War, because I hear God of War is that real good shit.
Yeah, I'd love to support Sony besides buying their expensive-ass consoles and paying for PS Plus all the time, by buying their, like, first-party games. But at the same time, I'm not made of money. So, like, I hear God of War's good. I was never really ever into God of War, but it sounds like this is, like, a decent jumping-in point, so I might try it sometime. Like, I actually really like Spider-Man. And Yuri's pretty cool, too, as, like, a voice actor, so that'd probably be really fun. But at the same time, it's like... But it's not a priority to me. It's not like, holy shit, Valkyria Chronicles is back on fucking console after years. Oh my god. Like, that's a big fucking deal to me. Much like Kingdom Hearts is going to be a big deal, because that's like, holy shit, I haven't played one of those since the PS2. That's not true. I bought 356 Days Over 2, but I didn't really like it a lot because of the DS control scheme. But anyway, like, I haven't seriously played those games since the fucking PlayStation 2 era, because they stopped making mainline console games, you assholes.
By the way, I double-checked that. The all-in-one package you can buy now, and you basically get digital copies of all the previous games, and then it also includes a pre-order of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice. If I had the cash, I'd get that. That sounds rad. Because I really do need to, especially with all the extra stuff they've crammed into this bundle, I really need to play that to catch up. Like I said,
it's like $99 though. That's the thing.
But it's a lot of stuff. It's got the good shit in it, which is great.
It literally has 1.5, which is 2 games, which is Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, the PS2 ports,
which I own already.
And the cutscenes for the DS one with the numbers and the slash, and I don't fucking know.
The thing that
it has 2.5, which is Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and then the cinematics for Recoded. Then it has the 2.8, which is which is the final chapter, Dream Drop Distance, and then the cutscenes for something else. I can't fucking remember. But basically, it's every single fucking Kingdom Hearts entry leading up to 3. It's all in one. It's $99. It comes with the pre-order for 3. You also get like an exclusive like PlayStation theme or something. I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in a minute.
Whatever. It's really fucking cool because The only other series I think that is as meandering as Kingdom Hearts is the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, which was also just as bad because they decided they were going to turn FF7 into a world. So there was 7. Then there was, I think there was a phone game in Japan because remember the Japanese have had phone games for fucking decades.
Decades and decades and decades and decades.
Since the flip phone era, they've had fucking phone games and phone internet. It's crazy. But, there was the mobile game, then they came out with Advent Children as the sequel movie, then there was Dirge of Cerberus as the sequel game that was all about Vincent, because Vincent was super cool in the early 2000s.
He was super cool.
And then there was also Crisis Core, which was the PSP prequel, which, because it was on the fucking PSP, damn you.
I cried! That's not anything new, because I played that shit, and I cried.
Yeah, no, it's probably very sad. There's also other stuff, too. I mean, they made Advent Children complete eventually and stuff like that. But, like, yeah, no, FF7's a complex-ass universe by now. There are novels and shit.
Please, thanks.
When you do the remake, can you please also bundle that other shit in there?
That'd be cool.
Like, I was talking about this we talked about this a little bit with the fans about Valkyria Chronicles, how, like, the sequels are interesting. And unfortunately, the most interesting sequel is 3, which was never localized. And also, it was still on the PSP. So, like, I said this with big bold letters. Banishing sequels to the PSP is a crime. Or was a crime. It really was. Like, there were a lot of weird niche games on the Vita, but I feel like that was what the Vita was for, and a lot of those didn't necessarily make it big in the US, but they got enough of a fan following that, Sony and other providers were able to do, like, PSN ports or PS4 remasters. We talked about this a lot when we talked about, Caligula. Like, yeah, no, like, the Vita had enough of an opportunity to be like, okay, the platform's cool, it's just mobile gaming is very different in the US, so it's like a whole thing. But there was enough to be like, oh, we can just repackage this game and sell it digitally or whatever. Or, a remaster. The PSP didn't get a lot of that action. Like, there were a lot of... Sony tried to shill the PSP hard with their partners. So there were sequels like VC2 and 3, Daxter, like Crisis Core, lots and lots of big franchise titles that were basically exiled to the PSP, and guess what? It didn't work. They didn't sell PSPs. It just means they made dead fucking games that everybody misses. And I know you can do witchcraft. I have never found a PSP emulator that seems to fucking work. Maybe I just need a new computer.
Like, I tell people, I'm still waiting for my damn Jak and Daxter collection with all 5 games. Well, I guess
like a true Jak and Daxter collection. Well, skip whatever the quote unquote 4th one was, because that wasn't made by Naughty Dog anyway, and it sucked. I own it, so I know. But yeah, give me Jak 1 through 3, and then give me fucking Jak X, and then give me Daxter.
Oh
so,
my god, like...
ignore the one that Naughty Dog didn't make, but Daxter and Jak X was actually really fun. I never beat it because it took a lot of time. There was it was kind of grindy. Like, you had to do a lot of tries because the races could be pretty hard. So, obviously, I don't have a working PS2 anymore, so I never beat it. But it was a lot of entertainment. And I have the PS3 versions of the HD collection. Same for Sly. Unfortunately, the PS3 has really dumb HDCP stuff in it, so that's not easy for me to record. But someday I will set that up, and I will totally do that fucking retrospective, because I love those series. Slice did good, at least. Like, when they... the art style was a little different for 4, Thieves in Time, but it was still good. No. I don't... that was only the PS3, and it was only some PS3s. You can download PS2 titles to your PS4, but I don't think the discs work.
Yeah, no, there was a whole bunch of licensing issues with the PS3, because I can't remember what it was exactly, but basically, companies were feeling that, I can't remember what it was. It was like some copyright or trademark issues. So basically, Sony had to pull the backwards compatibility from the PS3s. But all first generation PS3s are still fully backwards compatible. And I got one. So I'm like,
I had one, it broke. I was very sad.
That's like,
but
if my first gen PS3 breaks, I will fix it. Like,
that's probably solid. I tried to fix mine. It didn't. They sent it back. They're like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna extract my copy of my disc of Metal Gear Solid 4 out of there, and I'm gonna put in a new machine. But yeah, no. So yeah, I think what it was that the way it worked was there was literally a PS2 emulator coded in there. Like, there were hardware parts for it to function as a PS2 emulator, right? So like I think that caused problems with people who made PS2 games because it was like, you guys have made software that it's not like the hardware does it. Like, literally, you set up a software system to make the system pretend it's a PS2. That's a little uncomfortable that you've put that out in the world because the PS2 was still selling places, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, I think at the beginning they should have Sony that was like, we don't want to put this technology out there anymore. PS1 games still work. Both on classic and also on discs.
Man, do you know what's like the sexiest fucking sound? I don't care what anyone says. This just might be me nerd, but the PS1 startup sound, just a.
I mean, I prefer the PS2 because that's like my prime time of gaming.
Both of those. Like, those are just so nostalgic. Like, I just hear those and I just feel better.
Can I just? Like, I'm gonna play this in the video. So be sure to listen to the audio version of this. Because obviously that won't... It'll carry over because it's playing on my system sound, but I will link it so other people can listen.
Although I don't have it. I used to have, like... I had this, like, scaled up version of the PS1 startup, and I don't have it anymore, and it makes me so... Wait, hang on. Let me check. Okay, so, open audio. Nope, it's empty. That's empty too. Where the fuck did I put it? I am the rage. Damn it, why did I get rid of it? Who thought it was a good idea to get rid of it? I still have the Pillarman Awakening track. I don't have my PS1 fucking startup sound.
I'm just shaking my head. But anyway, yeah, I love... the PS2 is like, yeah, that was for my primetime early gaming. That was my first, that was the first console that I got that is exclusively for, like, me. Like, I got it as, like, oh, that was a gift, big deal on Christmas. I actually got that, like, my Super Nintendo was, like, a hand-me-down from a brother, and, like, I didn't own a PS1 or an N64. Those were all the kids next door, where mostly we played Smash and GoldenEye. But yeah, no, like, that, there's a lot to be had there with, like, bundling stuff up. Like, I hope they do that with... I hope VC4 does good stateside so that Sega can be like, oh, we can make a basic-ass emulator version and release it on PSN or something, and, like, give me a localization of 3, give me 2 on a platform I actually give a fuck about.
I'm trying to think. I think we mentioned it before. I'm trying to think of, like, anything else I want, like, a bundle. They've already done a Metal Gear Solid bundle. Like, you can get, like, 1 through 4 plus Peace Walker, Metal Gear 1 and 2. I think the only ones they don't have in their big bundle is Portable Ops and Acid.
And that's because those are basically like extra spin-offs. I don't think Kojima worked on Portable Ops directly. And he definitely didn't work on Acid directly.
Like, people gave Acid shit. I fucking enjoyed Acid. I thought it was fun.
I mean, I've seen like video of it. It seems fun, but like people have weird stuff about long-running franchises, including like Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
But the Metal Gear bundling is cool.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think, because I want a Jak and Daxter collection. Like, that is my big thing. Like, they've already, like, because back in, like, the PS2, it was, like, it was all, like, it was all still, like, the platforming mascot era. So you had Ratchet and Clank, you had Spyro, you had Sly, you had Jak and Daxter.
Right.
And I think, like, all of them, except Sly and like most of them except like Sly and Jak and Daxter have gotten like retouched, because like Ratchet and Clank got a fucking movie and had their first game literally remade onto the PS4, which I played. It was solid. It was like not amazing, but it was good.
Crash came back.
Yeah, Crash came back. Spyro's come back.
Spyro's coming back.
They're apparently still. Yeah, they're still apparently working on a Medieval remake.
So yeah, I'm hoping that shifts up a generation, because like obviously the quote unquote HD collection was very common on the PS3 era, and in some cases it's common on the PS4. There's a couple of those like even more HD remasters or collections, but yeah, no, like we haven't had full blown the entire collection 100% remade in HD for like Jak and Daxter or Sly yet. Like, I bet with the PS4's capabilities and like current storage space, you could fit Sly 1 through 4 on a disc and like make everything higher level graphics and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I was glad that the collection though did away with the stupid 3D gimmick in 3. Yeah. That sucked. Also, the 3D glasses.
Yeah, they're coming out. Yeah, they're coming out with they remade Zone of Enders 2.
That's right, they did do that. Out. I should pick that up. I mean, that's another classic PS2 to 3 HD bundle. I have that for PS3.
Oh, it is already out?
Yeah,
I knew it was coming out. I knew it was like soon. I think it was like around this time. I just can't remember when. It's not on my important game releases, because I have beat Zone of Enders 2. I would get it again if I had the chance.
I mean, because it's really cool.
It's really fucking cool. Man, that game was like literally like my first real experience with high octane robot fighting action. Like
yes,
back in like PS2 area. It was
it's
crazy.
great. I mean, I was one of those people. I wasn't directly one of those people who bought it for the MGS2 demo, but the copy I bought did come with the MGS2 demo disc, and it was like, oh, that guy who made Metal Gear that I'm really into, because I started to get into it about the time 4 came out. Like, I started to go back and get in the series. He made some kind of robot game. I'm gonna get the copies of those two, and like, oh my god, these are great. Lots of little attention to detail, like when you bring like Jehuti down on surfaces, the little ends of your legs scrape against stuff like that. It's like super cool. It's got that Kojima polish.
The soundtrack was amazing.
Oh yeah, no. When Kojima goes full anime, it's something.
He goes full anime.
That reminds me, there's a new trailer for Death Stranding I never watched.
Oh god, that's right. It shows off this guy in a golden mask or some shit.
Which is played by Troy Baker, I think. They added Troy Baker to the cast.
Really?
He's adding all kinds of people to the cast.
I like how they're actually using actual celebrities for this.
It's like, well, I mean, that's what Kojima always wanted to do. Like, yeah, we can tell. The man always wanted to make movies. He loves movies. That's all he ever fucking tweets about is movies and TV. I bought this Blu-ray. I watched this movie.
I think honestly, I'm okay with not knowing what the fuck goes on, because that just means it's going to hit me when I actually get in there.
I mean, I think we have seen, but at last E3, we saw theoretical gameplay footage at E3. There was no HUD or anything, but we saw what should be the actual gameplay loop, which is still pretty interesting to explore this like post-apocalyptic mailman aspect. And like, I'm assuming there's some deep spiritual metaplot shit in there because it's Kojima. It's gonna be like, I mean, that's how Zone of the Enders 2 is. I'm a fucking space miner, and I found a super cool giant robot. Let me fight my way to Mars and join a giant asteroid base and save the solar system from domination. Because I guess that's what happens.
You're mentioning Zone of Enders 2?
Yes. I was sketching out the plot of ZOE 2.
Oh yeah, no, remember he was injured, and he literally, like, Jehuti is fucking life support, so now he's fucking stuck in the goddamn robot.
Yeah, no, like, it's such a, like, 0-2, you are critical to the fate of the world.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I fucking love it. Like I said, if I have, like, the chance, I'll pick it up again. I'll play it. I'll pick it up before Megan, I'll stream in, and I'll be like, haha, fuck you, sir.
Yes, give me views on the channel. I'm sure there's some ZOE crossover with our audience.
Probably.
But yeah, no.
I think I got into, like, speaking of Metal Gear, I got into it on at 1 because it was one of the first PS1 games I played. Because, like, you know, you go over to your friend's house, they have some game, they had Metal Gear Solid 1. I was like, what is this shit? This is amazing.
Actually, that's what happened to me. I was interested in the series because it was about the time the PS4 was, not the PS4, the PS3 was gonna come out, and 4 was gonna be a launch title. So I was already interested. I was like, oh, this is a big classic gaming series I've never played. Like, I've heard how amazing 3 was, and I was visiting my sister and my brother-in-law, and he had some old games that happened to be set up in, like, the guest room where I was sleeping, and, like, so I played they had the original Metal Gear. I played Halo a lot when I was there, but, because we were there for, like, a week or so visiting, but he let me take the copy of Metal Gear Solid he owned, because he wasn't really doing anything with it, they just had the consoles, so that's when I played the original Metal Gear Solid, just because it was lying around, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is real good, because it is. I mean, like, now the PS1 version is, like, the graphics are super blocky, and it's there's a lot of, like, it's like, okay, like, you're clearly working with what you can. Like, the reason why Kojima picked the FAMAS is, like, the rifle of choice, and, like, Snake's, SOCOM weapon, is because they are almost literally box guns. So, they made very nice high-poly models on the PS1. But yeah, no, like, that's what got me into the series.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm hooked.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't beat Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PS1. I beat Twin Snakes, which was the remake onto the GameCube. That's what I beat, which was actually pretty nice because it basically bumped it up to PS2 level graphics, added, like, the first person shooting, like all the mechanics and stuff you had in Metal Gear Solid 2. Mm-hmm. That's when I first actually beat Metal Gear Solid 1. God, I miss my GameCube.
The GameCube was a cool... Amazing. Yeah, so, like, the console wars are always a weird thing when you're a kid. So, like, I had the PS2. The kid next door had the GameCube, because he had an N64 before, so he graduated to GameCube. So, like, we played, Brawl, a little bit of Sunshine. I didn't do a lot of the playing, but, the fucking spectator sport that is Wind Waker. That was a great long-ass experience. Stuff like that. Like, lots of fun stuff. Lots of the Mario Kart. And then on the PS2, like, I had a couple controllers. That's where I had, like, Soul Calibur 2, the Jak and Daxters, I'm trying to think. I could open up my shelf at any time and look at my PS2 collection, because I own almost all of them still. Because selling games back to GameStop is a scam, because you get so little value. It's like selling textbooks back to your fucking college. I immediately was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep these games, because I paid way more money for them than I'm going to get back. It's not worth it. There are very few cases where I sold back games. Mostly it was on the PS. I think it was a couple of PS3 titles and some Wii titles. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give up some crappy games to, like, score, like, a pre-order for something. So yeah, no, like, I kept almost all my PS2 games. They're on a shelf right now. I could open it up and tell you what my collection was like back in the day.
I wish, if we ever get our McMansion, there is literally just going to be a game room dedicated to just shelves of games and consoles.
I mean, that's the way to do it. It'll also probably be a recording space too. So, because, like, where I record for both this show and for, like, Let's Plays and stuff, same room, same equipment. So I've posted a picture of what my recording setup for Xtella is, but, like, it's a whole thing. I have to, like, bend my mic arm and point it out at my face and sit away so I can look at my TV, which is not my computer monitor, because I don't have room to fit my fucking, TV up on my computer desk, and also then it would be too far away to watch the TV from, like, my bed and stuff. So, yeah, no, like, it's a whole Frankenstein setup that every episode you probably hear me mutter about the microphone, because I'm constantly side-eyeing my capture screen and being like, are my mic levels okay? Because, like, I'm in a chair, so I'm shifting around a little. The mic obviously doesn't follow me. If there was, like, a really high-quality, like, headset mic, that'd probably be better, but I have, much like with regular headphones, I have bad experiences with headsets, because I tend to use them a lot for, like, listening, so they tend to wear out pretty quick, and then, well, your headset's gone. I've broken a couple headsets. But yeah.
You say not a scam, but when they give you $2 for a game that they turn around and sell for 12,
Yeah, and also, like, the couple of times I did trade in, I mean, it came out of their pocket because technically it was like a barter. They gave me store credit, which I immediately turned around into a pre-order for, I think, like, Deus Ex. So,
and they always try to give you...
they did not get a sale, but I did not necessarily give them the full value of games so that they could trade me a game, which they were probably going to sell lots of anyway. Like, it's maybe it's not a literal scam, but when you're young, it feels like you're getting scammed because you're like, it's like Amazon trade-ins now. It's like, so I buy this game from you for $60, and then I wait 2 weeks and I want to sell it back to you, and you're going to give me $10 or $20. I feel like something has gone wrong here. Why did I give you so much money in the first place? Though Amazon's usually good about that. If a game's not fucking worth it, it'll drop to be like, okay, this game is now $20, please take it off our fucking hands. Which internet stores never do, because, I mean, I think PSN and like Xbox has gotten better about sales to reduce the price of games regularly, but in general, because they're the marketplace, they stand at the standard market sell point. But still, it's actually, like, goddamn.
Yeah, goddamn. As I said, they always try to push the store credit onto you. It's like, here, have this, our personal currency, which you can only use here for certain things.
Because we don't want to actually give you $10. Then we're literally taking money out of our pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, like, store credit's a good concept, and it's if you visit a retailer regularly, that's cool. Yeah. You hear about it a lot with like tabletop game stores. Like usually you get store credit for winning local tournaments and stuff, or like showing up. That's fine. That's cool. That encourages people to come. It lets you give out prizes and like stuff, but not necessarily be like, well, I don't really want this specific like expansion or reward out of playing this tournament. So store credit's cool. And it helps build the rapport, but like at the same time, if you're a major retailer, it's a little bit like, okay, so you're gonna give me your fake money that I can only spend here, and then you're gonna turn around and make more money than you gave me in value off selling my games, probably. It's a whole complex system. I don't hate on anybody with like doing the video game reselling. Because, like, I bought plenty of fucking games used out of GameStop bins or off Amazon, but at the same time, like, the actual art of trading in your games and stuff was like, man, wow, the literal number value on some of these games is very arbitrary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we have several fans who are excited for VC4 who are like, I'll buy it when it's on, like, a Steam sale or something. And I'm like, that's fine. I mean, I want to play it right now because it's out, and also because, for shilly reasons, like, it's out now, so that's where people are searching it. So if we start making videos about it soon, you know, that's usually why video game, like, major channels will accept free games, and they'll accept sometimes often really weird-ass restrictions just so they can be right there on day one to get search traffic on a game. Because the developer gave them free copies, and they're like, okay, we'll put up with your embargo until this date because we want to be ready on day one to roll and get those clicks.
As I said, like, if my capture card idea had worked, like there'd be videos, like, I probably have, like, the full playthrough, like, Shadow of the Tomb Raider up. Like, right I bet now, you would. Because I think it only took me, like, 12, like, it took me less than 20 hours to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, and that was me faffing about with collectibles and, you know, trying to punch capybaras. Or however you pronounce them. Really cool giant rodents.
And probably capybaras. I should add up how many hours I've actually posted of the Extella playthrough.
Oh, man.
You could do, because you can do the math on that.
As I said, but yeah, I'm gonna try and, I think, like, as I'm gonna try and build me a new computer. I've already been picking out parts. It's gonna be upgraded. Like, mostly, like, I don't need, like, I definitely need more RAM. Like, holy shit. Like, a couple weeks ago, I had a problem with my editing software, in which at if I at a certain point in the video, like this one specific point, I don't know why it was this one specific point, but when I was starting to edit it, my memory would just suddenly fucking max out. I have 8 gigs of RAM in my computer right now. As I said, if I'm either doing like editing, like if I'm either arting or editing, usually my memory is up to like 80% like in use, and I'm just like whoo. You know,
yeah, because I think we talked about this before. It seems like video editing editing and rendering software just takes up as much memory as you'll give it to do it as fast as it can.
Because basically what happens is you're basically working out a lot of fucking layers, like in arts and in video editing. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, that stuff adds up.
And honestly,
so,
capture is similar because it's like live capturing video, and it builds a buffer and it saves like details and stuff, so you can edit it before it finishes and all that other stuff. So like, like the whole video production is very processor intense.
Yeah, so I'm looking at them like, man, 8 gigs of RAM is not gonna cut it. I have to bump up to 16. It's like, that's something like a lot of people say like, oh no, 8 gigs is enough for me. It's like, yeah, for your day-to-day kind of stuff, yeah, 8 gigs is fine. But if you want to get into like serious gaming and or editing, you have to up. So I got to get up to 16. I have to get a new motherboard to incorporate new RAM, to incorporate the new I can't remember what it's freaking called. It was like the PCI something thing. I need a new motherboard for that so I can get the capture card. If I get a new motherboard, I'm gonna get a new processor. Might as well, because I said everything's out of date. I think I might be able to salvage the power supply, CD drive, maybe the fan, maybe, I don't know.
Correct. Also, by the way, did the math. Currently at about 7.7 hours of Extella.
Oh wow, nice.
That's a lot of content. I hope you people watch it.
Watch it.
It's fun. It's entertaining. You get to see lots of animations. I occasionally have commentary about it. Sometimes it's snarky because like people talk about how Extella wasn't super graphically impressive, and I agree. There are very few like cutscene animations that are refined. Battles in cutscenes are literally fade to black and special effects. It's like a visual novel almost, but at the same time they've got the actual 3D fucking models, because actually drawing all the art for a visual novel probably would have taken too much effort. So like I have some funny thoughts like there's a couple times like Tomo has like one grabbing your arm animation that the animation plays out exactly the same like 2 times, and I'm like, we made this damn animation so we're reusing it kind of comments. Mm-hmm. Which are the practical actually that's another point Voltron brings up. The lip flaps are terrible despite the fact that the game is still in Japanese. Like it's not like say Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which in English the lip flaps don't make any sense because they can't fucking change them, so they do their best to translate the dialogue rather than, you know, cut around the cuts, which is usually what anime dubs do, is they have to like try and sync up. So yeah, no, like, but the sync is still bad, even then. So it's funny. Extella Link looks much more graphically high quality.
At some point, I stopped treating Fate Extella as a fighting game and more as a visual. Like, honestly, like at certain points, once you just hit a certain level of proficiency, the maps become a breeze. You crush through them, and then it's like, okay, time to read more.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of how I'm playing the game. Like, I like to show off some of the animations, and I like trying to do my combo strings and stuff, and do some fun stuff, throw some commentary in there. But the gameplay's mostly all right. The animations are all right. Like, it's funny to see me do like some of Tomo's combos. Like, I'm pretty sure she does the. I obviously the in-game dialogue isn't subbed, but I'm pretty sure she does the Polygamous Castration Fist attack as one of her like combos into a heavy, because she kicks and it explodes. Like fun stuff like that. One of her square into triangle, like light into heavy strings, is she does basically a classic hip thrust attack, which causes enemies to explode. Like I built a Mystic Code that has Switch, so I switched to Karna for like a little bit of a section of map to show off some of his combos and stuff. So that's fun and can be entertaining. I'm gonna be really happy to play as Altera because her combo strings are great. Her animations are so good in Extella, but yeah, no, like, the actual gameplay stuff is mostly me muttering about, okay, I gotta go over here now, or like, oh god, here's this bullshit mechanic. There's a lot of angry yelling at Gil in the last couple of episodes because he gets some super armor in some of his maps, and I'm like, just like, stop juggling me. Stop resisting my attacks. I am the one who juggles. And hopefully I can just drop, like, Moon Crux or Extella Maneuver on him. But yeah, no, like, it's...
I always thought the Moon Crux was, like, a really weird...
Well, it's... As recording a Let's Play, I've realized it's very annoying because it's got a fucking cutscene every time. And I'm like, I start skipping them at some point. Like, if I'm doing, like, one an episode, that's fine. That's like me when I do the Noble Phantasm, because I love to do those. So it's like, yeah, no, that's like my... that's like a big send-off. Okay, we're finishing the map. I got all the Phantasm circuits. We'll do the Noble Phantasm. It plays their theme music, usually, like their leitmotif. So that's a cool way to end the battle. It looks good.
Yeah, like, no, honestly, like, that's like what something I did. Is like, no, like, I need to beat them with my Noble Phantasm. I did that, like, every single fucking time.
I try to do that in every map in the Extella playthrough. There are a couple times where I goofed it up. But yeah, no, I try to do it. I'm playing on normal, so I actually can on some maps, because if you play on easy, some of your enemies will never use their own Noble Phantasm attacks, so you will literally never get enough Phantasm circuits. But yeah, no, it's...
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for a Link.
Link's gonna be a lot of fun, because it adds a lot of characters, and like we said, the graphics are improved. Okay, so...
Improved!
We talked about Extella, do we have any more Let's Play stuff we want to talk about? Or did you cover all that?
Let's see here.
Because we ended up talking about that for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, see what happens when you let Lucky talk? He draws out the conversation.
No, it's fine. Honestly, let's see. If there's not, the other thing I wanted to talk about mainly was Destiny. Because Destiny 2 is...
Yeah, we haven't actually played.
Free this... No. We could, though, if we were both awake at the same time and not recording a show. Because Destiny 2 is free on PSN this month, so I downloaded it because I actually really like Destiny. I just belong again. But no, yeah, no, I really like Destiny 1. It took... I mean, I had to kind of, like, come back to it, so, like, there was a little bit of, like, refreshing. Like, lucky you didn't get this experience because you started with Destiny 2, right?
Yeah.
So, if you carry over, if you have an account that's already linked to Destiny, it gives you a fucking, like, review of your achievements, and it gives you the date when you did major story points in 1.
Oh, wow.
Which was really nostalgic, and I was like, oh my god, this is really cool. Like, that would be the date when I beat the Black Garden. That would be the date when I beat House of Wolves. It was also a little, one, because of the time dilation, but also just because it was like, there were some of these cases where I, like, DLCs were like, okay, so this happened in, like, when did Destiny 1 come out? Was it, like, 2015? Oh, 2014. Okay. So, like, some of them were, like, you completed the actual story, like, late 2014. You completed, like, the first DLC early 2015. And then it's like, so now in 2016, that's when you bought these other expansions. And it was like, and then it was like, oh, and then in, like, 2016, you bought the complete collection on your PS4 and you beat those last couple DLCs. So it was like, yeah, nope. That's about right. There's some big gaps there. But no, it was fun to kind of go back. And, like, there are a couple of dialogue references if you carry over a character. Like, they actually refer to you as the Young Wolf a couple times, which is kind of the term that comes up for the player character in the last DLC of the first Destiny, Rise of Iron. You just pick up a cool nickname as the Young Wolf, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm the Young Wolf. I'm rad. But, yeah, no. The gameplay of Destiny I love. So I'm all the way through the story of Destiny 2 now. I beat the core story. I did all that. I'm trying to, go through all the other, the extra missions that you can do, like, post-game. I don't have, like, a season pass or anything yet, so I can't play any of the cool DLCs, even though they sound really cool. Because they are, like, Destiny's weird. The setting is, like, I've talked about this, like, almost like science fantasy planetary romance. That's really cool to me. Like, they explore a lot of the stuff. I believe in one of the DLCs we get to go back to Mars, but it's like an icy part of Mars. That's really cool. Because they really played up the, like, red desert effect in the first game. I don't know if we were able to go back to Venus yet, but Venus had a really unique design. I feel a little bit like some of the planet designs are a little bit lazy. Like, as a concept, Nessus is cool, but at the same time, I'm like, so you basically just turned a whole planetoid into the Black Garden map, basically. It's the same aesthetics as the actual Black Garden from the end of Destiny. And I'm like, so, I mean, that's probably more interesting than what an actual Centauroid asteroid would be like, or dwarf planet, but at the same time, I'm like, that seems a little lazy to just, we'll just reuse the Vex aesthetic and cover everything in it. Titan's also a little lazy because they just set it in the middle of, like, a hydrocarbon ocean as opposed to all the other cool stuff you could do on Titan, but that's okay because that's a different environment. I always, like, partially transformed by the Traveler, so that's okay that it's not, like, super volcanic, even though that would also be really rad. Like I said, like, I feel like sometimes they play up too much that, the Traveler made everything super habitable. Like, supposedly Mercury was a garden world before the Vex fucked it, and then the Cabal double fucked it. R.I.P. Mercury. But, like, at the same time, it's like, God, you could do some really cool ideas if you took the actual normal geography of some of these planets. I don't think they will, and but if they ever, like, fine-tune some mechanics for, like, swimming, there are a couple planets in the solar system that have, like, subcrustal oceans. That'd be really cool to, like, to figure out, like, full-blown possible, like, submersible segments. That would be really interesting to explore a lot of the concepts, but I love the game a lot. The core gameplay is great. I still have some complaints. I know it's a looter shooter, so, like, the fact that I go through gear designs is kind of it's kind of accepted. I am a little annoyed that I still haven't found where the fuck you get certain infusion materials so I can infuse, like, the exotics the game gives me, or the legendaries the game gives me at lower levels, because I'm like, God, these designs and powers are real cool, but your numbers are really shit now that I'm level 20.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do I even get these materials? That's something Destiny has always been bad at, is explaining itself, and there's no Grimoire anymore, is there?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, not that wasn't a pain in the ass in the first one, because you had to go to the fucking app or the website to, like, get the lore, even if that lore was super interesting. So, like, Destiny's bad at explaining itself, but if you actually read some of that stuff, it's super cool. Like, the Vex are so fucking weird. The Hive are also really, like, honestly, the Fallen and the Cabal are the least weird. Like, you can understand them a lot. The Vex and the Hive are so weird. Because there's a lot of, like, magic shit in their science, and it's just, yeah. I love that a lot. It sounds like it's something of Osiris, that DLC. I don't remember which one, because there's, like, a lot of stuff in the game. But, like, there's a DLC with the Vex that comes out that's really cool. There's gonna be some more Hive DLC. There's some other stuff that comes up. Like, the concepts are really rad, and before Destiny just existing has inspired me to write stuff.
God, I could put Destiny 2 into my console, but that means I have to take out Valkyria Chronicles 4, and I don't think I'm ready to make that kind of commitment yet.
No, that's fair. You don't want to pull that out yet. That's fine. I've been playing Destiny 2 as, like, my downtime game in between bouts of recording Extella. I might still do that when I put VC4 in, or I might just be like, well, I'm going to boot up VC4. I might as well just start rolling that recording. You know, we'll see how that works out. But I beat the whole story. It's fun. I like that they add more characters to the Vanguard captains. Like, Cade was fun in 1, but he wasn't a fully fleshed out character. But they got fucking Nathan Fillion. Of course, it's gonna be great. Cade's great.
It was fucking great. I love the chicken. The chicken's best character. Fuck all y'all.
Colonel. Good work, Colonel. I'm like, yes. Oh my god, that's something Cade would do. There's a fucking chicken. But like, it's cool to have like Ikora and Zavala actually get character besides just those guys who yell at you, and sometimes you hang out with them because they're your class. By the way, Warlock Master Race. That was a serious question in the first Destiny, is what's your class? I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm a Warlock. I mean, hunters are cool with their knives and their space swords, but you guys lost your swords. Now I, the Warlock, have the swords.
What are you talking about? Hunters still have swords? Well, everyone has swords, actually.
I mean, yeah, no, they have swords as an item. I mean, like, it's one of the subclasses they did away with, but the Lightning Pole class as a hunter used to be the Lightning Sword class.
Oh.
So now that's not happened. So you guys don't get your super sword anymore. And one of the Warlock supers is now, they replaced, sadly, they replaced my beloved Sunsinger, which I completely understand, because Radiance, for certain types of matches, Radiance sucked because it let you revive. That was one of the things you could do with Radiance, was if you were down, you could pop your super and be like, I'm alive, and I'm really cool for like 5 seconds. Which I did all the time because I played a lot solo, or when you're playing PvE content, like, it's really great if the Warlock can just be like, excuse me, we did not wipe, thank you very much, I'm alive again. But for PvP and stuff, I'm sure it was fucking annoying when you'd kill a Warlock and it'd be like, neener, you didn't kill me. Yeah. So unfortunately, is it Dawnblade, I think, is the new subclass. I tried it because it's your starting subclass. I don't know if I like it as much, but that's okay because I got Stormcaller back, and when they introduced that subclass new, I really took a shine to it. So now I'm back to being Stormcaller all the time because lightning is rad.
What was it? I can't remember. I think my Hunter subclass is the Void one.
The Void Bow.
Cool, and it's purple, which is my.
I have a Hunter alt, but I never played them a lot in Destiny 1 anyway. So maybe I'll try them in 2. But yeah, no, like I love Warlocks. The elemental stuff is cool, and there's not necessarily a focus on a lot of weapons. I do like that they've diversified weapons more in 2. Like they added SMGs. The swords are still in, which is cool. I've seen that they've added like literal standalone bows. I haven't picked one up yet, but I know they exist. Grenade launchers and a couple different types are in. I have an exotic now, which is called a thread rifle, which is a beam weapon, which is really neat. That said, goddamn Destiny, 3 weapon slots still, guys, still.
I don't know. I think it's all right because you can still carry all your fucking weapon.
I mean, you can, but there's no good hot swap system. Like, with Borderlands, you get 4, and switching is like, okay, like, you set them up, and you can switch really fluidly. And this, it's like, okay, you tap or you hold, and then you have to do the whole, okay, wait, no, I don't want my primary back from my heavy, or my power weapon, I want my, my elemental weapon. I do like that they did change that, so, like, one of the problems with the first Destiny was that you had primary, secondary, and heavy weapons. So heavy weapons were always machine guns, missile launchers. Eventually, they added the sword. And did they ever add any other kinds of heavies? I don't remember. And then your secondary weapon was always shotgun, fusion rifle, sniper rifle, right? Like, it was all those types of weapons that take secondary ammo now. But those were always your second weapon slot. And usually they were elemental, but they didn't have to be. And then your primary was only hand cannons or rifles, burst, scout, auto. So, like, I like that they flexed that up. So, like, I found sidearms that are actually fit in your primary slot, like, or you can technically find some weapons, or even you can find, like, an auto rifle or a scout rifle. It's elemental now, right? So, like, that's cool that they made that variety. And they've added more weapons. I'm still like, God, the 3 system is still really annoying to, like, pick what I want to play with.
Personally, I'm okay with it, because I never liked the concept of I'm going to carry fucking 20 weapons at once, and everything's just going to be okay.
Oh, yeah, no, like, I'm not super averse to it. It's just, like, it limits your choices in a way which I don't like for an FPS game that has such tight gameplay and such good weapons. It's like, God, I really want to, like, I wouldn't mind tactically if I could, like a 4th slot would be cool. Like I said, like Borderlands, so I could switch between a few.
I would accept 4 if one was always a sidearm and one was your power, but then you have 2 main weapons.
That's kind of what I would like. I would like a dedicated, like, a slot for sidearms. Like, okay, so literal sidearms or SMGs, like light weapons, go in this slot. Yeah, it's kind of like
that.
A backup.
I can understand. But like anything more than like carrying 4 weapons at once, I'm thinking like, nope, you're gone too far.
Like, no, you should not be able to do what you can do in Borderlands and Destiny and carry like 4 rocket launchers. Not that you would anyway, but you shouldn't. No, like that's fine. It's just like I'd like a little more variety and flexibility because depending on my build, like there are definitely times where I'm like, okay, so I really want a close-up weapon for this mission or this map, or I really want a distance weapon for this one, but when you're moving around the different worlds, it can get a little hard to be like, okay, now I need to swap to that, because there's no pause, per se. Like, if you're in the middle of a fight and suddenly your tactical situation changes, it's a real pain in the ass to, like, pop open your menus while you're still getting shot, switch your weapons around and stuff. So, like, that's my one major gripe with the mechanics, besides just the loot and leveling mechanics are basically, I mean, they're improved. You don't have to decrypt every fucking engram. At least not in the early game. I don't know if post-game you still have to. But, like, there was a lot of fucking decrypting in 1. Now it seems much more relaxed. You get much more of your loot directly. You switch out of greens to blues very fast. Which is good, because you were fucking around with basic-ass gray and green weapons for a long time in Destiny 1. They actually give you fucking exotics in the story, which I was, like, floored. I was floored when I'm like, am I even halfway through this campaign and you've handed me a fucking exotic? That's crazy.
Like, sir.
Like, because in 1, exotics were a huge pain in the ass to get, and almost all of them were post-game. They're really cool still, but, like, it was a pain in the butt.
Oh no, I got a butt ton of exotics,
which is good.
Like,
it's cool.
And
also, I'm a little, like most people, I'm a little confused and maybe even upset that shaders are like a consumable, but most of them seem like pretty easy to get back to make your shit match.
Yeah.
Like in Destiny 1, a shader was just like you had a big fucking collection of shaders. If you put on an armor, you had a single slot which was armor shaders, and so that shaded all of your armor at once. So it was very easy to get a unified palette, but they seem fairly easy to replenish, and quite frankly, I haven't seen any really cool... There's not enough red in my fucking shaders yet. I was that guy. Like, I was always picking a lot of Crucible or, whatever the militant faction the Tower was. They've kind of done away with that. Tower factions and stuff, but, like, I was always into the reds and stuff, cruising. Warlock armor's really rad. I've actually got an armor set I really need to infuse so I can use it, because it's really cool, but it's like, they're still doing that thing where you can get armor that's at like, 10 points of power, right? Like it's a level 1 armor basically that you have to infuse. And I'm like, okay, that's cool that you give me this option, but God, it's a pain in the butt.
I don't even think they had him infused by the time I quit the game.
If they didn't, that's a shame, because that was in 1. Maybe it was just obscure, because once again, Destiny doesn't teach you anything. You have to know this.
Yeah,
but
I said, like, that's like one of the reasons why, because I'm literally rerunning things trying to get the same weapons at just higher fucking power levels. I'm just like, I'm done. Because as I said, I don't do multiplayer that much, and unfortunately, Destiny is very much a multiplayer kind of game.
Yeah, it depends on what multiplayer you want to do, but yeah, no, like, Crucible's a big deal, which I'm actually okay with that, because the game, like I said, the gameplays are tight to me. And I cleaned up a few Crucible matches in my day. I don't necessarily prefer it, but I can have some fun if I need to do some Crucible bounties. Thank God there's matchmaking on strikes, though, most of the time. Honestly, that's the one thing I don't like about Destiny's design. They still insist, like, oh, just play it with your friends. We want your friends to buy this game, too. I'm like, fuck you. What if I don't have any fucking friends who play the PS4 anyway? Because I don't really. Like, I mean, I know some of you guys. Like, I could probably now, like, put out a call in the community to be like, hey, yo, we've got Are there guilds in Destiny? There might be. But,
there
like,
we've clans.
We've got a clan system set up on Destiny 2 on the PS4. We can hang out, get on our Discord, and we can talk about how to do the raids, which are supposedly even more ridiculous and hard.
I've never completed a raid.
Hey, guess what? I haven't either, because the raids never had fucking matchmaking. I think there was a specific build where you could solo, like, one of the raids, but I never got around to, like, figuring that out in 1. And now, because Bungie doesn't want you to solo the raids, you literally can't, any of them. They almost all require, like, split-second tight communication. I'm like, God, that sucks to me. That's the worst thing in the world to me, is to like, put the pressure of doing good at video games on top of the pressure of having to deal with people. Over a internet audio device. Fuck no.
As I said, like, once I get, like, I won't say bored with VC4, I might pop in Destiny 2 again so that me and Omega can Destiny it up.
Yeah, we'll play some. Maybe we'll finally figure out why this is supposed to be fun with people, with friends.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we'll just do stuff. But yeah, so that was my second big topic. Do you have any specific feelings about Destiny 2 you want to communicate to the audience, Lucky?
Like I said, I enjoyed it, like, while I was going through the story, because I'm like, oh yeah, check out, like, I had fun, like, exploring planets, jumping on shit, shooting things.
Yeah, the environment's
like,
good,
getting on my bike. Really,
yeah,
like zoom. I'm gonna hit something. Now I'm gonna jump.
It took a long time to
get
to bikes, but the bikes are good. That's something that Destiny 1 did a lot better, where it was just like, yeah, no, you fucking start with a bike. And like this one was like, okay, I had to like work around to getting to the bike level. I had to like find one in a random drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like Destiny was always good at environments. Their environments are really cool. They're really deep. There's a lot of backstory stuff, and story really improved. The story, the core campaign in 1 isn't super in depth and great. I mean, you as the player character actually talk in it, so that's an improvement over 2. I noticed that right away that you don't speak, which is going from 1 to 2. That's a little bit jarring that you just don't fucking speak anymore. The ghost does all your talking for you. But the story vastly improved, and Bungie did the smart thing in that they really played up their supporting cast. Like they got like they already had Nathan Fillion in, but they got Nathan Fillion to actually like do serious dialogue and lines, be in major story cutscenes for DLCs. Eris Morn was a big deal, who hasn't shown up yet in 2, but she was a major DLC Centerpoint character. You know, they play in 2. They play up the Vanguard commanders. They add Hawthorne. They add the different zone like reps. Holiday gets a lot of characterization again, stuff like that.
Such a gentleman sniper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's played by Gideon Emery. Great character, fun guy. Also, yes, I really like that they switched up the Earth map. God, the fucking ruins of Kazakhstan or Russia or whatever, the Cosmodrome outskirts, were a little boring and dull because it was just, look at these ruined buildings, look at this fucking desert. The European Dead Zone's cool.
I do like the European Dead Zone. Like, actually, I think that's the armor set I'm rocking right now for my Hunter, is whatever that zone set is.
That's cool. But yeah, no, and like I said, I like Titan. Titan's, I think, a little interesting. Nessus is cool. Like I said, I think it's a lazy. I haven't done a lot on IO. I think I need to go back there.
I think Nessa, like, is my favorite just because I just like, I like the fucking rep and just how she's fucking literally fucking bipolar.
Oh yeah, no, Failsafe is fucking amazing. Failsafe best waifu.
I know, Failsafe is best waifu. Oh my god. I wish she was portable. I would take her with me.
Yeah, no.
I just need her to have comment.
I would replace the ghost with Failsafe. No offense to Nolan North. Also, no offense to Peter Dinklage. Like, he did okay in that role. It's just his schedule literally didn't allow him to keep doing it for DLC and stuff. Yeah. But I was playing Destiny 1 back in the day when it was Dinklebot, and he was okay. Like, he was playing a very robotic character, and I'm sure that's how he was directed in the booth, so it's not on him that he was a little flat in places. But, you know, Failsafe is amazing. I love her. I was like, I heard Failsafe is cool, and then immediately, like, after 5 seconds on being on Nessus, I'm like, oh, I understand why everybody loves Failsafe now. The first time she goes from cheery to, like, and you're gonna die, I'm like, oh, I understand now. This is great. I love you. Please come with me everywhere, Failsafe.
Oh, man. I kind of want to play just so I can go, like, hang around. Because that's what I do. Like, that's where I hang out now. I hang out on and go do stuff so I can just have Failsafe talk to me. Also, so I can get the fucking things that let me trade for Engram. God, so much grind.
Yeah, welcome to Destiny. There's a little bit of that. The currency system. I mean, like, they've done better. The currencies are simpler. I do like that. I mean, you need a couple of different materials you can find in places to, like, actually do certain upgrades, but most of the time it's just like, yeah, just trade these into your local faction rep for rep, and then that turns into gear.
A loot box.
That's pretty cool. Like,
the loot box.
Because, like, it used to be that for everything needed, like, okay, so for some guns, you need fucking relic iron, which you find on Mars. For some guns, you need spin metal, which you find on Earth, and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot of, like, every map still had its certain item you can pick up, and then it was like, oh yeah, no, you just need these for certain upgrades. Which is another thing I really like. They've refined the weapon system. You don't have to buy any of your fucking traits now on your guns. That used to be how Destiny 1 worked, was like, you know how, like, every gun at, like, blue level has, like, a couple scopes? You used to have to buy those. You had to level up your gun and then buy them with mats. And, like, I'm so glad you don't have to do that. That takes another level of grinding out. So yeah, the gameplay's just really tight. It's just there's still a couple of flaws that I don't think they quite fixed. And I don't know if they're gonna. You know? But yeah, Destiny 2 is it's a fun game. I didn't really look into the microtransactions. That shit doesn't bother me. Whatever, emotes, shaders.
Meh.
I mean, the emotes
I think
are
I spent
cool.
a little bit of money getting stuff, but not a lot.
I mean, the emotes are cool. Like, there were a lot of, like, cultural memes about waving and pointing in the first game, and doing your fucking dance.
I remember seeing the YouTube videos of the fucking dance circles.
Oh yeah, no, like, because that was the thing. That would be like, we beat a strike. If you're doing like matchmaking, you don't have any way to talk to these people. So like, it's like, yeah, we beat the strike. Everybody dance, celebrate. Or like, lots of pointing and waving in the tower, stuff like that. The emotes are definitely good for the social aspect. Also, I like that.
I think that's where like one of the points where like console versus kind of go is that it's a lot harder to fucking emote. Oh my god. That's one of those things, like, you just don't have a keyboard where you're like, let me just hit the one key. Oh, there I go with dancing.
Yeah, you have to, like, they had to, like, use up space on the D-pad to do emotes, as opposed to, like what I suggested, like, if you wanted to do a Borderlands-style thing, you would have to probably use the D-pad to do, like, free-flowing picking of 4 weapons.
Personally, I think it should be something like a scroll fucking wheel. It's like, here, hold this button. Now you have brought up your emote thing. Now use your D-pad to select the one you want.
Yes, that would be
you
great. Because that would get more. You could fit more than 4 in there. You could fit all your fucking emotes, like Dark Souls or something.
Yeah. But no.
No, you have 4 slots, and you have to buy emotes.
God fucking damn it. Ugh, business models. Ugh.
But also, you can get raid emotes, which was hilarious. I think, like, you can get certain, like, rare emotes in raids. But whatever, they're just emotes, and it's just fucking shaders.
Whatever.
So it's fine. I mean, I like that they added mechanical stuff to the ghost shell, but that used to be just a fluff thing. Your ship is still fluff, which I appreciate.
I
actually got like an exotic ship that was like a fallen type ship, but I was like, I mean, that's cool if that's rare, but I don't like that aesthetic. So give me some of my fucking. I think I got a really cool ship out of Taken King that was like a Hive inspired design. That was really cool. I could boot up Destiny 1 and double check some of my ship types.
I can't remember what it was called, but it looks like a fucking transport ship that has a giant fucking missile base. I'm like, yes, this is my aesthetic. Give me something.
Yeah, I definitely flew that type of ship for a while. I had one that was just like covered in guns and missile racks, and I'm like, yeah, this is how. Never mind, there's no flying or fighting combat, which would be a good subsystem add Destiny. If you can actually fly your ship and shoot it. But, especially since they added fucking flying vehicles you can fight into. But yeah, no, like, I was like, yes, this is how my Guardian arrives. I arrive in this shit.
Yeah.
The fashion game in Destiny has always been strong.
But even though as great as Destiny is, I still prefer Warframe.
That's fine. That's an acceptable conclusion. I've never really gotten into Warframe. I just don't have time. Because it's like
Warframe is its own kind of beast with its own kind of problems, but
it's just to me that, like, especially after I played so much Halo, despite the fact that I was the PlayStation kid, I ended up playing a decent amount of Halo just through like friends and stuff. Just to be able to get back to Bungie FPSs and that level of tight gameplay, I'm like, oh, this is it. It feels so good. Destiny, even though it was a slog, playing the original Destiny, it was always like you'd play it for like 2 or 3 hours doing just dumb patrols and grindy shit, and just I never questioned it once while playing. It's the kind of game where you stop playing and you're like, what did I actually accomplish in the last 2 hours? Whatever. It was super fun. So yeah, I love the saying,
time you I can never remember it.
But yeah, no, like the
time wasted
was like, great.
Time wasted doing something you enjoy is not actually time wasted, or something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, no, like the gameplay loop is just super tight to me. It's still that tight in 2, and I like it a lot.
I find it fucking hilarious. I put in time wasted to try and find as close. The first two responses are time wasted on League of Legends and time wasted on Destiny.
Of course. Because people want to know. But yeah, all right. So after that long pause, I think the next big topic, because we're at almost 2 hours, then it's not even a big topic because we can't really discuss it for reasons that are going to become clear to you as soon as I introduce it. But I did want to bring it up because I've mentioned it offhand. I finally caught up and I watched the 7th season of Voltron Legendary Defender on Netflix.
Actually, I have something to talk about on Netflix.
All right, that's cool. So I just want to really quick, because Lucky, you started watching Voltron but haven't caught up to it because you've talked about your issues with TV before.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I'm not going to, go full dive, especially because it's still relatively new, but I really like Voltron Legendary Defender. It's really, really cool. I never watched the original Voltron. I was too young, but just, the way they've made a show that is nostalgic but also new and creative, and that is actually all ages appropriate. It's a lot like the original Avatar in that aspect, that it's you can watch this as a teenager, as a kid, as an adult, and it still works. And okay, so they don't swear, which is for teenagers it's a little weird, because if I was a teenage mecha pilot away from adults, there would be a lot of cussing in those situations in Voltron. They get away with it by using some alien substitutes, but yeah, no, there'd be a lot of swearing in that situation just because some of the stuff they get into is real fucked up.
Real fucked up.
But
it's fucked up.
It's
real fucked up.
And there's not a lot of blood, but people definitely die and get stabbed and stuff, and you're like, oh, he did. Keith definitely straight up kills a couple of dudes in the latest season. No, there's no blood spray or anything, but he definitely murdered those guys. They're definitely dead. They're super dead right now. A couple of people also get blown up by beams, and it's oh, he did. But it's super enjoyable to me, and I like it a lot. The fight scenes weren't as super tight in this season as they were in the last half a season. There's one fight scene that I can't talk about at all because it's super spoilery, but if you've seen it, just the whole episode was just beautifully animated in action, and it's great. But I liked it a lot. It touched on a lot of themes that I thought were interesting. I am so glad Netflix decided to let them go back to full 13 episode seasons. And it's not just 6 or 7 episodes, because technically seasons 5 and 6, and I think 3 and 4 are both basically, they were split up for production reasons. The stories actually flow as if they were one season. I'm so glad they stopped doing that, because it was super annoying to be okay, yes, I get more Voltron in 4 or 5 months, but this season didn't feel very fulfilling because it was 6 episodes and your plots are half resolved. So one contiguous season for 7 was cool. I think they've said that 8 is going to be the last.
Oh, damn.
Which kind of makes sense, honestly, but it's neat. I like it a lot.
I might binge it then.
That's probably good, and it would probably flow really well. It's just, a lot of the themes they hit is good. As a person who likes mecha stuff, the actual Voltron is a little frustrating because, the lions or even how Voltron is handled is just so floaty, so bullshitium. It's okay, this doesn't literally scratch my mecha itch, because it's just the Voltron shoots lasers out of his lion hands and blows up huge ships. But it's still in the same ballpark, and I like it a lot. The characters are cool.
Voltron is a product of a bygone era where, God, the giant mecha craze of the late 80s, early 90s, the big space craze. It was fucking huge.
Yeah, no, it's definitely harking into a nostalgic style. Though I will say, the producer said it best. They didn't make the show Voltron as it came out in the 80s. They made the show that they remember watching in the 80s, which is a great way to handle it, because it's because you can find them on YouTube, clips of the original Voltron. It's real weird and dumb and bad. It's honestly really bad. But I could see how as a child it would have that mystery that would catch hold of you and be oh yeah, this is awesome. But at the same time, they can do stuff in the show and be oh yeah, Allura is not just a princess that gets kidnapped all the time. Like, she can actually do stuff on her own. The women are cool now. We don't need to worry about whether or not girls will buy toys, so we can actually do stuff that women will identify with. Character diversity is way up. That said, I do deeply appreciate, Voltron, that you haven't gone quite so far that there aren't still white people in the show, and that white nerds can still save the world. I appreciate that deeply. As a super Anglo nerdy boy, I would have loved that as a kid, because quite frankly, a lot of heroes in cartoons are not necessarily like the intelligent, smart thinking types that I was as a child. There's something to be said for lots of like classic cartoon protagonists, but hitting all spectrums of life was not one of them. But the show has real good diversity in the good ways, I think. Also, the character designs are so good. God damn. They're just so good. The guy character designs that just show up out of nowhere are real good too. Like, they're a lot of handsome and cute dudes, but just like the ladies of Voltron. Holy shit. I still can't talk about this with Lucky because of spoilers, but oh my god, some of these character designs. I'm dying.
Like, honestly, I think one of the reasons I stopped watching Voltron immediately is because, like, I was literally, like, I was only a couple episodes in, and then someone was all like, oh yeah, it turns out Pitch turns, like, this is a spoiler, I guess, Pitch is actually a girl, and I was like, oh.
Oh.
Well, that makes them, now I've just put a whole bunch of puzzle pieces together, and...
Yes, but no, you're supposed to do that. I mean, like, if you were, like, 2 episodes in, it's, like, one or two more episodes before you as the audience figure it out.
Yeah.
But still,
but
like,
someone just, like, flat out told me, I'm like...
I mean, that's cool, but no, you shouldn't just tell people that as, like, a hook to get them into the series. It's cool that they did that, but no, you shouldn't just bring it up. So I really don't want to spoil certain aspects of certain characters, even though they're really cool, but just, like, some of these background... You would think that these are, like, secondary characters. Oh, you don't need to go... No, like, everybody has a good, sharp design in that show. And, like, everybody's so pretty.
So pretty.
I have an appreciation.
Alright, I'm taking the mic. Give me. Nope. Mine now. I'm gonna talk. So, like, and something that's completely off character for me is, like, I actually sat down and watched a couple Netflix shows. Binged them. I binged them over last week. 2 specific. One was an anime. One was not. So, like, a couple weeks ago, in our TV channel, I linked a preview to a TV show named Hilda. And it's basically... Hilda is about, like, an elementary grade kid who grew up in the wilderness among a bunch of supernatural creatures, and that's all she known all her life. Like, and she knows them, she knows their habits, she speaks with them, hangs out with them, you know, gets chased by them. Like, and, you know, they interact with her. Like, one memorable scene is, like, this guy made of wood just, like, you know, barges into their house, throws some logs on the fire, lays down with a book and says, you should close the door, it's getting drafty in here. And they just give him the look. It's like, you know... Very sass, a lot of snark. And turns out that she has to move to the city, and she doesn't want to because she's known the wilderness all her life, so it's her adjusting to city life, trying to make friends and all that stuff. And it's like, and, you know, finding out that, you know, there could be magic and mystery in the city, too. It's very nice. It's something that really reminds me of a more innocent Gravity Falls. Like, Gravity Falls was great. Like, I fucking love it. I haven't finished it. I want to. It's on my to-do list. But, you know, like, shit got real in Gravity Falls sometimes. Like, you're just like, oh, man, this is like, you feel like, oh, man, this is some serious shit. It never gets too serious in Hilda. It's very heartwarming most of the time. And, like, it's only like 13 episodes, and it's based off a graphic novel. It's based off a graphic novel. Like, if you have a chance, if you want to just go see some lighthearted supernatural, like, shenanigans with a bunch of good sassy characters, it's like, you should check it out. Like, I hope they're gonna be making more of it. The second thing I watched was an anime. It was an anime that just showed up on Netflix. It was called Dragon Pilot. And this was a weird ass fucking anime.
I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Dragon Pilot. Like, a lot of the English cast has been like, "Hey, I'm in a dub that's out on Netflix now," and seeing that
I watched it in I fucking watched it in Japanese. And, don't regret it. But basically, Dragon Pilot, it's part fantasy, part military. Basically, this girl joins the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force, and turns out, and wanders into a hangar where there is a fucking dragon being kept, and it eats her. Then it spits her back out. She comes to find out that these are called organic transforming flyers, which have been in Japan for a long ass fucking time. And it's and only a certain few can actually pilot them. The way they pilot them is by getting eaten, and while they're inside their stomach, by basically touching certain parts of the stomach lining, can get them to do certain things.
So we're getting really a lot of new people into Vor. Was what I'm saying.
No, seriously, there's serious Vor vibes. But they kind of hand wave over it because they give them a helmet that gives them this AR virtual reality visual of the outside, so it looks like they're in some sort of sci-fi cockpit. No, they're still inside a fucking stomach. They have to wear suits so they don't get dissolved with stomach acid. But as the story goes on, all the girl character, all the girl pilots, they have particular quirks, which makes them candidates to pilot. And going through some of these quirks and some of these relationships and how that interacts with the dragons and stuff is part of the charm. The other part of the charm is that to get these dragons to fly out into the real world, they have to disguise themselves as actual planes. So, the main girl, her dragon disguises itself as an F-14. There's another one that disguises itself as an F-2 Hornet. I can't remember the other two fucking ships. One's just a fucking big transport plane, fucking propellers. The other one is the fucking radar dish airplane. I can never remember what it's fucking called. I can't remember.
Probably a C-130 and then AWACS.
AWACS, yeah.
You were a Navyman
and all
flyingman, so it's not surprising you don't remember.
Yeah. And as I said, it's just 13 episodes. It's really quirky and humorous. The animation style is super weird. None of the characters have noses. None of them. No one has a nose. No noses. No one. Nope. It kind of reminds me of slightly dumbed down Trigger animation. It's not bad. It's just definitely unique. The studio who did it was Bones. Fucking Be the Beginning and all that stuff. So the fact that they chose this kind of animation style, I'm just huh. I liked it. I heartily recommend it. It's, the voice act, I said, I didn't listen to the English voice acting, but the Japanese is great. One of those things about about Japanese voice acting is I've always hated is when screams and when someone cries. Always irritating as fuck to me because it's that's not how the person sounds when they cry. I cry a lot. I know. That's not how a person sounds when they scream. Trust me, I scream a lot. I would know. They have some actually honest to good screaming and crying going on, so I'm yes. Finally. Then it's annoying in its own way because listening to high-pitched girls screaming is kind of annoying, you realize. But it's realistic, so hey, I'll go with it. There's a bunch of other Netflix shows I was thinking about, but I said, I'm trying to get caught up on my anime right now. I was able to finish a couple of the series. I finished How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. If you want a good isekai, watch it. It's alright. Yeah, it's got its titty and its lollies and stuff, but under it all, it's decent. I finished Island. Island confused the fuck out of me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's glaring plot holes at the end, but the guy ended up with the best girl, in my opinion, so fine, whatever, I'll give it a pass. Trying to finish up other things. There's one more episode of Overlord left in the season.
Yeah, I have not been caught up on my anime.
Yeah, man. Like, I am so behind, too. Like, I think I'm still, like, episode 6 or 7 of Banana Fish. I want to finish it. Luckily, Banana Fish is going into next core. It's going to be 24, 26 episodes, so I'm not feeling the burn to, like, binge it because I know it's going to keep going. But there's a bunch of other series I want to finish. Apparently, Boku no Hero Academia, and yes, it's actually Boku no Hero Academia. They fucking say it in the show, so I don't want to hear anyone give me shit. I was like, no, it's My Hero Academia. Fuck off. Yeah, they're actually ending their core run with this season, and while the next season's been announced, people don't think it's not going to be until next spring until they pick it back up, and so we're gonna have to wait a little bit, which is a shame because we're about to get into the some real shit with the next.
At the same time, I'm like, yes, please, no, buy a couple extra months so that you can get your more manga in the background, so you don't have to like flap about with filler or any shit like that.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind. At this point, like after like I said, they're pushing 50 episodes. I could take like a season of filler, especially if they don't. See, here's the thing. It's like as long as it's good filler that isn't gonna like suddenly weirdly twist the main story. Like
that's the problem though. Bleach. Is that means that your anime writers have to come up with a fucking script and stuff, and they have to write something that can't change the outcome, but has to still like be meaningful and have stakes and stuff. That's hard. That can be really hard in writing because doing that.
Oh yeah,
doing writing normally.
Yeah, they
can
just
be
did
difficult.
that with a movie that's coming out here soon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The movie, though, that's a little bit is about, like, that's telling you shit you don't know, at least, I hope. Because it's partially about, like, young All Might.
He has eyes!
That's a little... seeing his design with eyes is freaky. Not black holes in his head.
That's just suddenly glow blue.
I keep my ideals the next best meme after... Only, never do this. Only villains do that. And then people extended that to that one shot in the opening where the subtitles clearly show the English, I keep my ideals on All Might going full eye beams, basically.
Yeah.
But really great. But yeah, no. Like, that's going to be exciting to see the next episode. That's the only anime that I have consistently watched all the time through the season. I am a little bit behind... I'm a little bit behind, like, Hanabad, and I don't know if I'm going to keep watching Persona 5. I like it, but at the same time,
you know what's going to happen.
It's, like, I want to see if they do good with cool scenes. Like, there's some adaptation they could do. Like, I liked a lot of that, and sometimes I'm just like, God, I just want to hear the music again. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know where you're going with this. Like, are you only got a couple episodes left? Like, are you gonna do like I think P4's anime did and goof me into buying the Blu-rays or something? Because I'm pretty sure that the P4 anime, the true ending, didn't come out except in the bonus episode.
Yeah, like as I said, like I stopped watching like a while ago because I'm like I know where this is all. I know how.
Like I liked that they did do improvements in the adaptation to, like I said, with Haru and her specific story, because Haru didn't get a lot of screen time in the actual game. It's sad. The anime did a decent job. They sprinkled her in like as a background character a couple of times, and they do better, I think, at like actually showing her reaction to things going on and stuff. But yeah, no, it's like I'm running out of steam to keep watching it. It's not as entertaining as I wanted it to be. Like early on, so good, so many like visual cues and like the way they intersperse the music and stuff. But once the novelty of just like, oh, you've made a good adaptation wears off, you're like, but this is still an adaptation and I know this story already. It's like I talked about this before when we talked about sci-fi and stuff. I like the movie of Ender's Game is a really good adaptation of the book Ender's Game. Mm-hmm. It's too good if you've already read the book, because you're just like, but all of the momentum is sucked out of this movie because I know all the scenes and I know all the beats already. I appreciate that you did a good job. I don't care for this at all. Like, this has no impact on me. I'm already a huge fan of the story from the book. I would almost much prefer to get that version. Right? Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a thing. But I need to catch up on Hanabado. I'm hoping we stop being a demon at some point. And like I said, I'm also not caught up on Engelmaw or Banana Fish. Netflix is probably not going to help that, because I binged I binged Voltron. It's the same guys who wrote Avatar: The Last Airbender who have that new Dragon Prince show, right? That's like partially CG.
I've seen that. I'm wondering if I want to watch that. And
I've heard really good things about the design and the writing, so I'm going to check that out at some point. And also there's a new season of Iron Fist.
There's a bunch of stuff. There's a sword guy. There's like Last Hope or Last Stand, Dragon Prince. Like I was looking at Netflix. There was other things I was looking at too. I was like, damn, I might want to watch this later. It's like, no, Netflix is always really cool. Netflix, I will not get caught in your trap.
But yeah, no, and there's like, I know you don't watch any of the Marvel TV, but there's a new season of Iron Fist, and people have said it's actually improved, which I'm like, I really want to see, because the series Iron Fist was kind of a letdown.
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard too.
But his character was decent in like Defenders and like Luke Cage, so I'm hopeful the second season actually does some shit. And can we stop fighting fucking ninjas? They overused the hand, quite frankly. There were too many fucking ninjas in various Marvel TV seasons. I'm hopeful we can get away with that. Like, I understand that obviously he can kung fu fight and stuff, but just stop throwing ninjas at him. Find a new... Doesn't Iron Fist have a fucking rogues gallery? I don't know anything about Iron Fist from the comics, but he should have his own villains, right? Who are like standalone villains?
Yeah, probably.
Use those, guys. You've done really good interpretations. But anyway, that's our Netflix and TV. I think we're at over 2 hours. I think I need to wind this down. I'm starting to get like really hungry and lightheaded.
Okay.
Do you have any topics you want to maybe like make sure we put a pin in for next episode? Or are you good?
Well, we're definitely gonna talk about Valkyria Chronicles 4. We're gonna talk about Bwong.
Sorry, I'm terrible. I'm really bad at the arm thing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a fiddly person, so the fact that there's this big mechanical thing in my way.
I said the Azure and Lane event will probably be out, so we'll probably be doing that. We didn't talk about Azure and Lane like at all.
No, we could have, but we didn't. But that's fine. We talk about Azure and Lane all the time.
So,
well, we'll definitely have something to talk about because they're gonna add some new Oath skins, including Hood.
I'm all about that Prince Eugene.
The skin game is good.
Let's see, Girls Frontline. I don't think they're doing anything special, so probably not gonna talk about that.
No.
FGO, we got a whole show dedicated to that, so
yeah, we'll talk about
it. The new core of anime should be starting like the week after next.
Hopefully that drives me to actually finish some fucking anime.
Yeah, because I said like the three off the top of my head, I'm gonna be watching. So I was reincarnated as a slime, as Miss Beelzebub likes, and Goblin Slayer. I know I'm watching those three for sure, and then I'm gonna be picking up like whatever else like shows up around that time. Because as I said, like that's how I do. Like I look at what anime. I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna watch this one. And then I'll watch these other ones as they come up, and I'm just like, we'll see. As I said, I still got like a fuck ton of anime I need to watch because I want to finish watching Happy Sugar Life because oh my god, actual main character Yandere girl. See how this goes. I want to watch Revenue Starlight. Camper says it was really good. I'm like, all right, let's see how this one goes. Sirius the Jaeger, which is like freaking vampires and werewolves and freaking like historical, not like full historical Japan, but like Meiji era Japan or some stuff. Like there's still a bunch of stuff I want to finish, like Harukana Receive, Hanabado, Overlord's gonna be done here soon. Same with Anglo Moss. And then I want to like clear up my plate so I don't have so much, like I don't have to worry about so many damn things like in a couple weeks. Like as I said, like I'm already, like I'm like. My time management skills is not great. It's like if I'm going to be real.
All right. Well, I think the show's wound down. I hope the live audience had a good time. If you weren't part of this and want to be, obviously we do this every week for our certain levels of patrons, shill, which we have a lot of fun, guys. You should consider it really. I get if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad somebody's just joined us that we're literally ending the show. But you have, I think that person might be a patron. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying super attention to this, but yeah, no. We're winding down. But you can access the audio download later. But yeah, we really appreciate our patrons who tune in every week, and you can. And if you want to know when we do these for special milestones like subs or just, like we did it for our 1 year and stuff, we do it for certain special events, tune into our Twitter and our Discord, and you can always be there and ready to hop in and listen. And we'll just do the normal roundout. I'm super hungry, so I want to end this fast. If you like this episode, give it a like. If you have any comments on any of the stuff we said, leave comments in the section down below. And of course, you can access our Discord to talk to us back about stuff. And obviously, if you happen to be new here for some reason, because maybe you got caught by the algorithm and like us and want to continue supporting us, sub, obviously, still. And don't forget to turn on the bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video. And of course, like we said at the top, support us on Patreon. You can get access to different perks and stuff, which are really nice, and it helps us out. But also, you can just listen. And I don't think the video of this will be posted because it's 2 hours. I don't think the video of this will be posted before we've already done the live episode, so we don't need to... There's no point in mentioning, like, also, don't forget we're going to do a live recording of Let's Talk FGO. That's, like, for our audience, sure, tune in, but if you're seeing this on, like, YouTube or something, it's probably already happened. Just, once again, hey, pay attention to our Twitter and stuff. Social media.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky, do you have any final thoughts before I turn this off and go feverishly devour something? Because, holy shit, I'm dying all of a sudden.
Just Lucky's word of wisdom. People remember, money doesn't actually buy happiness, it just buys temporary relief.
Okay, and with that very deep thought, we're off.